coronavirus.
The Donald Trump quarantine challenge. How will you do? It's not easy. I'm going to tell you about what it is in just a second. I'm here in Austin, Texas under shelter in place. And I thought this would be a good way to illustrate a point that I talk about a lot. Let me tell you what it is.
There's nothing more high status than being able to control your emotions or your emotional state. And there's nothing more low status than being whipsawed by things outside of your control. Think about somebody who, when something happens to them outside of their control, outside of their sphere of influence, they just break down and lose it. Like they're such a victim, like, oh, why did this happen to me? Versus somebody who realizes they can't change that. Yeah, it's unfortunate that that happened, but they have no say in it, so they're cool and they're calm. It shows confidence. It shows a very high level of consistent, rock-solid confidence that a lot of people want and a lot of people strive after because everyone looks up to it. So how does this relate to the Trump Corona Challenge? Well, here's what you're going to do. We're going to test your own ability to control your emotional reactiveness. So what we're going to do is you're going to call somebody. It's good to have a little interaction while we're in shelter in place or while we're told to stay away from people anyway. So make a phone call to someone that you know really well and you're comfortable talking about, and simply ask them what they think about how Trump is handling this situation. Because if they're going to say one thing or the other, it's going to be the best or the worst in the world. Now, regardless what your thoughts are, I want you to not even share anything about what you think about it. So let's say, for instance, you think Trump is doing a good job with how he's handling the coronavirus, and you call someone and they say, I think he's the dumbest president that ever. And I'm sure you ask a very benign question, like, how do you think Trump handled it? He's the biggest dummy in the world. Did you hear what he said? This and this and this. Or maybe you don't like Trump and you talk to the person, they say, oh, I think he did everything absolutely perfect. He's flawless. He cannot make a mistake. I want you to just ask a few clarifying questions. Oh, really? What did you hear that he said that made you think that? Like, what are a few specifics about that? And feel yourself, if you side with the person, you're going to feel an overwhelming sense to agree and to compliment. Oh, absolutely. He is doing a great job. You see this and this and this. Or if you disagree with them, you're going to feel such an urge to let that be known and tell them how they're wrong and how you're right. Trump is the hottest button issue of anyone. I've never seen anyone on the planet who's more polarizing than him. So it's an amazing way to do this. So see if you can just have a calm conversation where you don't get defensive and you don't try to prove a point. Once again, the highest status people, they don't need to win arguments. How often do people who are truly high status get in arguments? Not often, because it doesn't matter. If you persuade the other person, which is almost zero chance you're ever going to do, that you're right and they're wrong, who cares? It doesn't change a thing. It's simply not worth the bad energy. So call the person up, ask them how they think Trump's doing about the coronavirus thing. And even if you're watching this video a few years from now, it'll still be hilarious to hear their thoughts. I'm sure they'll be even wilder at that point. And then be very cool and see if you can control yourself. Notice how that feels and consciously make an effort to not let that show in your voice. Don't get worked up. And if you feel yourself doing it, just be aware of it and do it to somebody else and try it again. It's a great way to practice, because if you truly can completely own your own emotional state, it's something that's impossible to fake. You know, people want to see what's called honest signals of high status or confidence, because people want to know who's truly confident and who's not, because people want to follow people who are truly confident, not someone who's faking it because it means they're not confident and they probably aren't able to do what they put forth and try to show that they're able to do. And before I get to the next point, let me know in the comments below what was unexpected about that drill. Was it easier for you to keep your cool and be unbiased, or was it harder for you to do? I'd be interested in letting you know. You know, I did a lot of research on what's the best way for somebody to learn a new skill. And it's overwhelmingly what's called drip content. So a little bit each day versus just getting slapped with all the content in the face. And so because everyone's at home and shelter in place, now's a good time. If you're looking to speak with a deep, confident voice so people don't talk over you, I've got a video right here you can watch. It talks about a program I have called the Vocal Power Boot Camp. And if you get people who clown on you and make fun of you, you want to have quick comebacks to put people in their place so they can't make fun of you, so you're not an easy target, I got the quick and witty comeback boot camp that you can click right here, and I'll talk to you about that. It's a YouTube video as well. I'll talk to you there.